Hello. So I'm Lane Iwakura. So on this video, I want to talk about substance addiction. Since I know a lot about substance addiction, I was addicted to substances. So my drug of choice, and I'd gone to Narcotics Anonymous meetings. Um, Narcotics Anonymous, but then I stopped going, and I just kind of stopped going because I felt like sometimes the people there, I mean, I don't know, but sometimes like it seems like people aren't listening to each other. Maybe that's because they're still recovering, but that's what it felt like. Like you say something, but sometimes it's like nobody's listening to you, despite the fact there's so many people in the room. So I had gone to Narcotics Anonymous, but my drug of choice was cough syrup. I'm not talking about lean. I know they talk about lean being cough syrup on rap music, but lean is technically codeine that they put in it. I think lean is codeine that they put inside of cough syrup. But I was addicted to just pure cough syrup. No codeine, just it's called dextromethorphan. There's a chemical in cough syrup that you can buy called DXM or dextromethorphan. And DXM is a psychedelic painkiller. So it's sort of like a painkiller and it's psychedelic. So it's not like LSD at all. Because I've taken LSD like once, but it's not anything like LSD. It's a psychedelic, but it's a dissociative. Oh, this is how I wanted to word this. It's a dissociative psychedelic painkiller. So I think that the it's like the only drug that like it's like a soft drug. Like there's hard drugs and then there's soft drugs. So like triple C is soft, and I was addicted to it. I love it. I love it so much. But I got sober, and I've been sober for 1 year. 1 year, almost 1 year, on December 13th, 2023. So that's pretty good. Um, I abused the drug for years, and I think as a trans girl, the drug might have affected me differently, because when I was doing the drug, I was in a group home, and I'd gone to lots of psychiatric hospitals, and I was sectioned, put on the section 12 to go to a psychiatric hospital so many freaking times, it's crazy. But then I got sober on December 13th, 2023, and I don't go to psych hospitals anymore. Sometimes I think I should go to a psychiatric hospital, but I just need to be strong. If I really think that I need it, then I guess I will go. But it seems like it's not as hard as it was. Like when I got sober, I still wasn't thinking straight. Like I was going to NA, but I wasn't like I didn't understand. I didn't have like a complete understanding of what was going on, because basically I couldn't. When I got sober, I sort of started to see the world for what it is. Um, I started to see the world for what it is. I see the world as like a light. All right, so like life is a spiritual journey, and you're on this journey through this ancient place called the Earth and outer space, because the Earth is floating in outer space, right? Let me drink some coffee. I got black coffee since I'm lactose intolerant. That's still freaking hot. But now it's like I'm like if I take for some reason I got really sensitive to cough syrup, because if I take like a few pills of I was addicted to triple C, and I tattooed the word triple C on my arm, and I was addicted to triple C, and that's a cough syrup in the pill form. and you can just buy it. It's like $3. Some places sell it for like $8, and there's 16 pills. So if you take 16 pills, you go to the third plateau. So that's like a very high level trip, and it fucks you up basically. It really fucks you up if you take 16 pills. And I was taking 16 pills a day. So of course I was fucked up for a long time. But I what was I going to say? Yeah, if I take like a few pills, now it's like if I've been sober for a year, and if I take like a few pills, it it's a lot stronger than it was. Like I don't know why. I think it's cuz my body evolved, and I've talked about this before. My body evolved in like uh over the course of time, and my sensitivity to drugs has become a lot higher, and it's very strange, but I mean, also I was going to state, I know that like people in the comments are like, you know, people, people making, most of the people who look at my videos don't comment. They don't put comments, so they don't even like the videos or anything. They just kind of look at it. Maybe they don't even watch it. I don't know. But I was going to talk about that. There's I sort of realized that there's like a reason that I have, face tattoos. There's a reason. Um, and I know lots of, like, I know some things. Like, maybe I don't know lots of things, but I think I know lots of things, to be honest. I don't know all the things. I don't know all the things, but I know lots of things, you know? And I've been in this city, and I couldn't see it. Like I said, I couldn't see the world for what it was until I got sober. So I've been in this city, and I know what the cities are like. If the city is like this, um, and I know like what it means to be myself, and to be myself, or what it means to have these face tattoos, to be myself. But I'm not gonna talk about what it's like to be myself, because it's hard to explain, I guess. Then I was sort of like involved in multiple situations, but I was involved in multiple situations, I suppose. Or maybe it's just one situation because I'm one person, but it's like multiple situations. And, there's kind of a reason that I have face tattoos. But, I mean, I got these face tattoos before I realized I was involved in those situations. Um, but also, I sort of like, once I got sober, I realized who I was. So it's like, when you're on drugs, you don't know who you are. You just think that, like, maybe you're a kid and you think drugs are cool. Or maybe you know what I mean? But in reality, drugs just fuck people up. I've seen it because, like, I go to these NA meetings and it just fucks people up. What you're doing is destroying your brain. It's mostly first of all, you might not feel, depending on what drug you're doing, you might not even feel safe in your own body. And I didn't feel safe in my own body for a long time. But if like it's also fucking up your brain, because what you're doing is putting holes in your brain. And that's why when people go to NA and they quit, they they have to recover, because their brain, it recovers at such a slow pace. It takes like at least 1 year to get started. So I thought for 1 year, or like I processed myself for 1 year, since December 13th, 2023. And the reason I got sober was because someone punched me. Someone punched me. And I'm like, I need to stop. I need to stop, man. Because he punched me because I was fucked up. in a psychiatric hospital. I got someone punched me, and that was when I realized, oh fuck, this is too fucking real. I need to stop. You know, that's why I got sober. Uh, then it's also like once I got sober, I had a lot of repressed memories. So like I have like aphantasia. I think it's called aphantasia, where like you have no visual memories, but like I have no memories that are like visual, so I can't remember like if I saw something, I could not remember what it looked like. But you know, unless I was to like look at it, like literally look at it, and I'm like, oh, I remember that. But it's like not inside my head. I just think with words. So that's how I think with words or emotions, I guess. Just words or emotions. So maybe that's why I like books, because I think with words. I like to read. I like to read books, but I still working on this book, and I'm taking it very slow because now something I what was I gonna say? Yeah, I had a lot of repressed memories, and for like an entire year, I would like, well, for an entire year, and I don't really have panic attacks anymore, but for an entire year, I was having a panic attack every single day. So like, like I could, breathing, and I was having a panic attack every single day for an entire year. Um, then you sort of realize that like life is not a disaster, but the drugs just fuck people up, and you see people on drugs, and they're fucked up. That's all it does. It doesn't make you like cool. I mean, I guess I don't know. It's kind of weird because it depends on how you look at it whether or not it's cool, because like you might think like, oh, crack cocaine, that's cool because it's hard, right? But it still fucks you up, and you have to recover at some point once you become older and you realize, oh fuck, I can't do this anymore. I gotta focus on my health, and focusing on your health is real, and recovering from addiction is real, and mental health is real. So mental health, like, you know what I mean? Because when you're on drugs, your brain is so fucked up that you're not processing your emotions. You know what I mean? And you have to process your emotions. So I processed my emotions for an entire year, and I still feel like I'm recovering. And they say that recovery is a lifelong journey. But like I said, I think that life is a spiritual journey. And the world is an ancient place. And I realized that once I got sober, or once I kind of like started maturing, and I started to mature and think like an adult, you know what I mean? Because I was like, because that's another thing, is that people who do drugs often are immature because they're, like I said, they're not processing their emotions. They're just fucked up. They're like, I need it. I'm going to cut my wrist because I need it. Something like that. Oh, that's interesting. I do have scars on my arm because I used to cut my wrist when I was doing drugs, but then I quit. So don't be concerned. I do not cut my wrists, but that's something I did when I was younger. Yeah, because like you don't need it. You don't need it. You know what I mean? It's really hard to get sober. It's like really hard. I would know. But you like your life a lot more once you get sober. And you'll probably have, eventually you'll feel good about yourself. You'll feel like I sort of realized like, oh, I'm dope. I didn't know that. I thought I sucked for years. I thought I sucked because I'm like, oh my god, I can't quit these drugs. I'm a fucking failure. That's the word I thought. Failure. But I was so young. You're not a failure. You just need to stop. I'm begging you to stop, my former self. You know what I mean? That's why you shouldn't do drugs. I was like a psychonaut, but only for Triple C, not for anything else. I wasn't a psychonaut for anything else. I tried other psychedelics, but I didn't like it. Well, maybe, I mean, I guess it was okay, but what's the next step? The next step, I guess, is to quit cigarettes, and that would be very good for my health, to quit smoking. But I still haven't gotten to that part yet. But I don't think that cigarettes are like drugs exactly. I mean, it's technically a drug, but it's more like a cup of coffee. Like a cigarette is like a cup of coffee because all it does is stimulate you. It does not get you high, it just stimulates you. It's like a cup of coffee, in my opinion. It doesn't fuck you up, you know what I mean? That's why I don't understand these people who say that weed is not a. I fucking hate weed. I don't like how it. I don't like how it feels at all. It makes me fucking paranoid. But and it makes me feel terrible. It makes me like really sick and like I don't know. But weed is a drug. If it gets you high, is a drug. People who smoke weed are still destroying their mind and shit. All the things that I was talking about, weed does that to you. Cigarettes do not, but weed, because cigarettes don't get you high. All it does is stimulate you. But weed gets you fucking high, so it fucks you up, just like crack fucks you up. It's doing the same thing to your brain. Okay? It's your brain. That's what I'm talking about. This is what I learned because I did go to a program and they talk about that the drugs put holes in your brain and your brain has, and that's what I realized, that like, my brain started to develop when I got sober, and that's why I was able to mature. So I would not recommend marijuana. And but something I said was that I don't smoke weed. I smoke crack rock, but I don't do drugs anymore. Crack rock. Now the thing about crack rock is that it's really good, but it's also very risky because that shit could have fentanyl in it. You never know that you might just get a dose and it's got fentanyl or something, and you might die and shit. That's what I think. But people already know this shit, right? Well, maybe most people don't think about it because they haven't had to go through recovery, and it is really hard to recover. I was addicted to cough medicine or cough syrup in triple C or triple C. Um, yeah, but this video is getting a little bit long.